You guys know that I don't shy away from talking about anything that's like stigmatized. I don't shy away from anything. We've done a pooping video, so you guys know everything's on the table. And I, on Instagram, asked you guys what questions you had about your periods. And I know periods are something that most people don't talk about. There's still some sort of shame or worry or hesitation about talking about your period, but my thing is like, hello, we all have our period, like all of us. And why aren't we feeling more comfortable talking about it? So I actually partnered with Tampax Active on this video. They actually have just relaunched their packaging. This is the Tampax Active Pearl. They come in all different absorbencies, and not only have they repackaged, they have partnered with my friend Hannah Brofman, who is a fellow Adidas ambassador with me. I've known Hannah for a few years now, and they're doing a whole HB Fit Hannah curated collection. So I'm on board with anything that empowers women, number one. Number two, that erases stigma around things about our bodies. And also, I love supporting my friends. So I'm really, really excited. Thank you, Tampax, for working with me on this video to have an open discussion about questions you guys had about periods. So I'm gonna just start in on the questions, and I really got the same probably 3 to 4 questions. So I'm gonna answer those here, and we can kind of talk more about them and kind of my experience. Again, I am not a doctor. I am not a gynecologist. I'm not an expert on periods, vaginas, any of that stuff. But I am here to try to help, and really what my goal is to open up a dialogue. And I would love to hear more about what works for you, and you know, any other questions that you might have, and you can feel free to leave those in the comments. So one common, probably the most common question I got is, what workouts should you avoid on your period, or what workouts should you do on your period? And so I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research. There's a lot of different schools of thought about this. So some people have studied kind of how your menstrual cycle affects your body and what kind of exercises are best. Personally, what I kind of drilled down to is you should really do during that time something that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel like, I think activity for me always makes me feel better. It really releases endorphins. It's that happy sauce that you need when you're on your period. So for me, anything that helps me get a little bit more happy, get a little bit more excited about my day, and releases some endorphins is awesome. So for me personally, in my experience, what I really like to do is some kind of more moderate weightlifting exercises. So nothing too heavy, but also nothing too light and jumpy. Not that you shouldn't jump during your period. I just personally like a little bit of a slower movement. I think it's also an awesome time to do yoga and stretch, because what I find is during your period, your body has a lot more tension. Your body is going through a massive hormonal change. And for me, what that equates to a lot of times is cramping. And really stretching out those muscles and calming your mind is really, really, really helpful. And one other really common question that I got was about inversions on your period. So yogis, I've done my research, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, medically, inversions are totally fine to do on your period. It's not like more blood comes out or anything. It's all based on uterine contraction. So that really doesn't matter. It's more about comfort, number one, but also in traditional yoga practice, there is a thought process. It's called apana. And if I'm saying that incorrectly, forgive me. But basically it is an energetic downward flow. And so the reason why people say to not do inversions during your period in yoga is because, in traditional yoga formats, it's like the reversal of that energy, but medically, physically, it's totally fine. What is awesome about these Tampax Active tampons is they actually have this new thing called Motion Fit technology, which promises up to 100% leak-free workouts. So basically it expands in a different way than a typical tampon, and it is literally for those times when you're working out. And personally, for me, during workouts, a tampon is really the only option for me personally. And I know people have like all different ways they choose to kind of work around their menstrual cycle, but for me, tampons are really my main choice. So these were a really, really nice discovery in my fitness menstrual cycle thing. Another question I had was if people experience dryness or discomfort when using tampons. And basically, you need to be aware. The reason why there's different absorbency levels is you need to be conscious of your flow. You need to be conscious of what your needs are. And so whenever you're on a really light day, the thing to remind yourself is I only need to use a light absorbency for that time. You don't need to go with something super heavy, which can cause a little discomfort or dryness. That's just something that actually a few people asked me about, is discomfort in wearing certain tampons on certain days of their period. So it usually has to do with absorbency level. Another question about wellness and fitness on your period that I got a lot was people were asking about reduced energy levels, and just like, you know, I mean, it's completely normal to feel all I want to do is eat carbohydrates and eat chocolate and complain. And I totally hear you. I want to do all of those same things. I think especially on your period, it's harder to be mindful about what you're eating and what you're doing, but it's more important. So I know your energy levels might be low, but the things I always remember is to make sure I'm getting really, really good nutrition on those days. So really feeding the body foods that are really satisfying, number one, because you're gonna want to give into those kind of temptation foods. And not that any food is bad, but you wanna have food during that time period that gives your body the most useful energy, especially because your body's just like, we're like working really freaking hard. Like we've got like a lot of stuff going on downstairs. So really giving yourself those energy bursting foods. I also like to eat fats in the morning. This is a personal thing. I like to eat fats in the morning because then it staves off a hunger longer. And I make sure to have protein and fats during those days, not just empty carbs and sugar, because you want your energy to be really stable, especially if you're going through mood changes or hormonal imbalances, things like that. You really want to keep a stable energy source. So that prevents those like crashy moments where you feel like, hangry, or like, I need sugar, or I need chocolate. It will prevent some of those, and it'll keep kind of like the hanger at bay. So yeah, I just like to eat protein and fats at every meal, especially in the morning, first thing. Really get a good base of your day. But then also, you know, let yourself have those like little indulgences that, you know, make that time a little bit more fun. One thing I will say is the importance to me of being consistent with my eating and my workouts. The reason why, not because I'm afraid of gaining weight or that I'm gonna lose progress or get off track, but more so, you're already feeling a little bit vulnerable. And I think sometimes I personally, and I can only speak for myself, but I can get down on myself if I don't stick with my routine. So I think like for me, getting in really good nutrients, having a few treats, and then keeping with a workout schedule that's consistent. You don't need to go as hard as you normally would, but just to be consistent and getting up and moving every day, I think that always feels so good. This is a personal question, and I debated if I should answer it. Because I don't want the world to know about my skivvies, but I will answer that. So many people ask me, at least 4 people ask me this question, and I get this question quite a bit normally if I wear underwear during workouts, but in this kind of question answer asking period, people were asking me if I wear underwear with my tampons while I'm working out. And yeah, the answer is no, I still don't. And with these new tampons from Tampax, I actually felt like not worried about that. Sometimes I do worry and I'm like, oh no, what if I have like a leak accident during like Soul Cycle and I don't realize it or something. That would be so embarrassing. I mean, it's already embarrassing because I sweat so much that I usually have like a giant crotch sweat, and look like I peed my pants anyway. So I suppose like period leaking wouldn't be that much worse. But yes, I don't wear tampons and underwear. I just wear my tampon. I used to have to like pray for the best, but these are actually built with that in mind. So this last period when I was testing these tampons, I actually felt really confident that that wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, I just don't like wearing underwear during workouts. I mean, more power to you if you do, but my options are like, do you wear a thong or do you just have panty lines? I don't know. Also, my thing is like, I don't want to have to like pick wedgies the whole time. This is an aside. The thing I didn't tell you is that there's a giveaway portion of this, and I'm really excited about it. So actually giving away not only some of their tampons for you to try for yourself, but also a 3-day membership to 24 Hour Fitness. But then the best part, the part I'm like, can I enter the giveaway myself? Like, I'm part of the giveaway, but can I be in the giveaway? Is a bunch of Hannah Brofman curated swag. You're gonna get curated activewear, you get to go work out, and you get tampons. I don't know what more you need. Maybe we should add chocolate in there. I don't know. Anyway, details on how to enter the giveaway are below in the description box. And then also you can check out my Instagram for more details on the giveaway, how to enter, how to win, because I want one of my people to win. So thank you, Tampax Active, for sponsoring this video and opening up a really honest, awesome conversation about periods and women and empowering us to be active and be fit on our periods.